The FPS genre has had their own fair share of remakes over the years. However, there are several great games that have yet been remade. Remakes have become absurdly popular in the modern gaming landscape. Games like Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space are both great examples of this recent trend's effect on the survival horror genre. However, first-person shooters have also received plenty of remakes over the years, such as Halo CE, Anniversary, and Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare Remastered. Both attempted to take a beloved FPS and remake them for modern hardware. There are, however, several great FPS games that sadly haven't received the same treatment, and worse yet, aren't likely to in the near future. Here is a list of some of the best FPS games that have yet to receive a fully fledged remake. Starting off with number 8, we have Call of Duty: World at War. Call of Duty titles have had as much to say on the topic of warfare as World at War had in 2008, and yet it's treated as a kind of red-headed stepchild by Activision. Not only did its predecessor receive a full remake, its immediate successor, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, also received a single-player remake. It's disappointing because World at War is perhaps the best World War II-era Call of Duty title there is, even when stacked up against the more graphically impressive but uninspired and even cynical Call of Duty World War II. Now imagine combining World at War's gruesome and thoughtful portrayal of war with Modern Warfare 2022's graphics. At number 7, we have Halo 3. Okay, in truth, Halo 3 still looks pretty good even by today's standards. It's actually quite amazing how well most of its visuals have aged, and much of that is due to its strong art direction. It makes sense that Halo CE and Halo 2 got the full anniversary treatment because even by 2007 they look significantly dated. Halo 3, however, still has this magical look to it even if some individual parts haven't aged as well, such as the facial modeling and lip syncing. At most, Halo 3 could use a touch-up in a few areas, maybe higher resolution textures and some models with more polygons. But other than this, it's doubtful that a remake would actually improve on Bungie's original vision for the game. Next at number 6, we have Bioshock. The original Bioshock still ranks high among many gamers' list of greatest FPSs of all time, and it's easy to see why. Sporting a fantastically unique world dripping with venomous political commentary, Bioshock is in many ways a once-in-a-generation game that many are probably afraid to see receive the remake treatment out of fear they'll mess it up. While the game still looks rather good even by today's standards, there are nonetheless plenty of areas in which a remake might improve upon, such as lighting systems. Imagine a ray-traced Bioshock, weapons, animations, textures, etc. At number 5, Battlefield: Bad Company 2. If Battlefield 2042 proved anything, it's that those remade BFBC 2 maps look a lot better now than they did in 2010. It begs the question, however, if it can be made to look that much better, why not remake one of the best Battlefield games ever made? While the original has its moments, it still has this almost cartoonish look to it that a remake could do away with modern graphical technology. It's not just the base game that would look great either. The Vietnam multiplayer expansion had a whole personality unto itself that would look absolutely insane with modern tech. Moving on to number 4, Star Wars: Battlefront 2. While the series was brought back to life by EA in the 2010s, it just hasn't been the same since the days of Battlefront 2. Originally released in 2005, just after Revenge of the Sith, Battlefront 2 brought a bunch of new features like heroes, a narrative-based campaign, and a whole host of new maps, weapons, and vehicles that its predecessor was missing. It's actually a shame this game never got a full remake, because impressive features set aside, the game is rather janky by modern standards and is certainly outdated graphically. Next up at number 3, we have Fallout 3. While Skyrim and now Fallout 4 have had remakes of their own, one many more times than the other, Fallout 3 is just sitting in the corner languishing without a single remaster or remake to its name. It's a crime considering how popular it was when it first came out, and how many people even consider it to be a superior game to both Skyrim and Fallout 4. Even worse, the game doesn't even run well on modern gaming PCs without serious modding. Bethesda could probably throw a new coat of paint over the game, and people would buy it in droves, especially if it ran better. At number 2, HalfLife II. There may not be a Half-Life 3 in the foreseeable future, but Valve could just put out an HD remake of one of their most beloved games in the meantime. While Half-Life 2 does still look pretty good these days, even better with mods, Half-Life Alyx shows that there's plenty to improve upon when it comes to the visuals and art direction of the series. The first Half-Life has had its own fan remake with Black Mesa, and even got a ray tracing mod somewhat recently, the latter of which would be really cool to see in HL2. Alas, there's virtually no indication that Valve plans to remake Half-Life 2. Finally, at number 1, we have Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Many will remember how Wolfenstein, the New Order, breathed new life into the aging Nazi-bashing franchise. However, Return to Castle Wolfenstein did it all the way back in 2001, when it turned the archaic 2D corridor shooter into a sprawling 3D dungeon crawler that wouldn't be topped until the aforementioned New Order released 13 years later. Return offers both a wonderfully atmospheric and action-packed campaign, as well as a stupidly fun multiplayer component that the series has sadly been missing since 2009's Wolfenstein. Frankly, the fact that this game hasn't gotten a single HD remaster, let alone full remake, in 2 decades, is absurd. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe for more future content.
Thank you, come again.